All right, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Andy with Sear Smarts, and we're here today to show you a couple of things that we got new for the JL. Our linkages here are the Yeti XD. This is our tie rod, 1/4-inch wall, chromoly, 1.5" diameter, right and left-hand threads. So it's a true adjustment tube. Our ends are all forged. They're actually based off of an S650, so we consider them a 2.5-ton end. We have a patented new stud. This design is a straight shank all the way through. This will be on both our drag link and our tie rod. And what we have is we have a taper sleeve here. This taper sleeve actually fills the taper from the other side, and it's coated to make sure that you don't have any galvanic corrosion that adheres between the steel and the new aluminum knuckles on the JL. So what you do is this goes on the bottom, then you torque this thing down, and you're done and ready to go. Drop the nut. So that's the same on our tie rod as it is on our drag link. So we're also the only ones to offer what we call a no drill top mount. So when you do a flip, normally you have to drill out 7/8, so you have to put a taper sleeve in. With this taper sleeve and the straight shank, we actually can go right through the top, and then that taper sleeve fills the bottom, so you don't have to drill it and remove any material, which is going to strengthen it, and it's also going to keep you from having to go and mess up it, or, you know, incorrectly drill it out.
Straight plumb, the whole deal. Yeah,
exactly.
That's cool.
So for most people, it's a game changer, really. I can show you over here how it works. So here's kind of a cross section. So you see, this is the JL knuckle here. Let me turn that radio. So you see in the cross section here that this is the JL aluminum knuckle, this is our stud, and this is how the taper sleeve fills. So when you torque it down, you can see that it actually just fills in the taper. So it's actually stronger than it would have been if you drilled it out to begin with. This is also a good point to show how our no flop works. So we do a 30mm ball stud instead of 26. We have steel on steel bearings rather than a plastic casing, which always wears out. And we do what we call a reverse pin. So this stud here actually has a channel that we machine that only allows the articulation in the direction that you want. So what you'll notice is it doesn't flop around when you go up to it, which really results in a better steering feel, much more precision. You'll notice that kind of dead spot in the middle of the wheel that you don't get much of anything, you actually start to get input as soon as you start to move the wheel, because there's nothing there to flop around and keep it from actually actuating and turning the wheels. We got our track bars over here. This is our front track bar. It's a huge, it's 2-inch solid steel forging. The bar weighs about 30 pounds. I mean, it's one of those things where you're probably going to break off the mount before you ever bend this thing.
And you said it's solid?
This is a solid steel tube all the way through. And then the adjuster tube, again, they're right and left-hand threads, 1/4-inch wall chromoly. We use clamps instead of jam nuts. So on the tie rod and drag link, you're looking at 45 foot-pounds on those versus 200 on a jam nut, and then it comes loose on you 200 yards down the trail anyway. These ones are 85 foot-pounds, but as you can see, it's a huge clamp in comparison, so it requires a little bit more. This is a new thing that we're coming out with. This is our rear track bar. Everybody's been begging for it, they've been wanting it. So we're going to be releasing this later, probably towards the end of the year. But as you can see, it's based off the same forging. That's a huge beast, and it's going to keep your back end looking and feeling just as good as your front. We also have our bracketry. So this is going to be for the JL. They integrated the stabilizer into the tie rod. So we have a relocation bracket for the stabilizer, which bolts into the tie rod or the track bar mount. So this longer bolt will allow it to go straight through that, and then you have a new location for your stabilizer. This is the frame side reinforcement bracket, which is something that the JL owners are starting to be concerned about because of the weld issue. 1/4-inch wall, it's E-coated and powder coated just like all of our other components, so corrosion resistance is really high on these. This is the JK relocation bracket. It's got a new spot for your stabilizer, or you can run hydro assist off of this because it is 1/4-inch wall. And then this is the JL. This is the new JL track bar relocation bracket. So again, 1/4-inch wall gives you a new location for either a hydro or for a stabilizer. I can take you around to the front here and show you just how it looks on the Jeep, and I can show you how the no flop actually works. I don't know if you saw this too. This is our stand here for articulation, and it's actually built out of our linkages. Nice. So there's 2 tie rods, a drag link, and then 3 track bars. They actually, to test that, the guy that built it used this deuce and a half. He drove up on it. We couldn't articulate all the way up, but he got up on it. He said, it's not bending, so I think it's going to be good. Maybe we need to pause for a second since he's in right there. sorry.
All right, so now we're back.
All right, we're back.
Brief interruption.
Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and walk up to the front of this JL that we built here for SEMA. And I'm gonna kind of show you what I was speaking about when I said the no-flop technology. So, crawl underneath here. Pretty much anybody else's is gonna flop around, but ours doesn't. And as you can see, I'm pretty well reefing on that. And that's all the more action you're really ever gonna get out of these. And what that results in is just a much more responsive and a positive experience driving the vehicle. That dead section, you'll notice, just goes away. And you're actually getting inputs as soon as you start to turn the wheel, which is kind of an empowering thing for people that aren't used to a solid front axle. Or even for somebody who's been driving it for a long time, it feels like it's a completely different vehicle for them. So it's a lot of benefits to that. This one's currently running a bottom mount because we're on an Ultimate 60, the way that their relocation bracket works and all that stuff. That's the way you want the setup. But yeah, it's pretty beefy, and it's really reliable, and it's all built here in the U.S.
And you've overcome the ever-famous JL weld problem.
Yes, this is the frame side reinforcement bracket. As I said earlier, it's a 1/4-inch wall. You know, it's coated and powder coated.
Did you look before you put yours in? Were you missing welds?
I didn't put it in. I didn't really worry too much because we had that. So had we had a weld issue, it's no longer an issue because of that piece. Then the last thing I'm going to show you here is our active dampener. Might have to wait a second.
Yep, back on.
All right, here we go. So this is our active dampener. So this is the first time it's been shown to anybody. It's patented. It's something that nobody else has. And we think it's going to be a real big success. So essentially, you have your dial here to select what it is that you want for your dampening. Basically, how strong of a dampening you want done. So on a 1, you can see it's pretty easy to turn this. But as you go up, it starts to get harder and harder. And that's something that you can actually control from the vehicle rather than having to come outside, undo an Allen screw or whatever it is, and you can actually adjust it on the fly from the vehicle. And it's using magnet fluid, so we're actually changing the how much electrical current is going through that will actually change the viscosity, which is what's giving you the various dampening ability.
Cool.
So yeah, if you got any questions, you can reach out on our Facebook page, give us a call, shoot us an email, searsmarts.com, and yeah, thanks for checking it out.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.